Welcome back to another Galaxy News interview. Today, me and the fellow Galaxy News Girls staff will be interviewing the female competitive scene, Fierce Girls. Thank you for taking time and doing this today. Before we begin, please introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Kata and I'm the main sniper for Fierce Girls.
Hi, I'm Jules and I'm a player for Fierce Girls.
Hi, I'm Maya and I'm captain of Fierce Girls.
Hi, I'm Mass and I'm one of Fierce Girls' main OBJ players.
Hi, I'm Sharity and I'm one of the Fierce Girls members.
Hi, I'm Vicky and I play for Fierce Girls.
Hi, I'm Jade and I'm another main OBJ player for Fierce.
It's well known that Fierce Girls have established themselves in the female community. How and when did the team form?
So the team was first created towards the end of August. Tokyo and I basically heard that AR Girls were open for trials right after our previous team disbanded and decided to try out. That's also where I met Kata during trials, and the three of us got in, and we've been here ever since.
When the team first formed, I was already in the team and Tokyo reached out to me and asked me to trial. Since I already knew Tokyo from my old team, Honeybees, I gave it a try. Since then, we stick together and helped us out.
With that being said, what was the first tournament you guys played in? Did you guys win it, and how did you feel afterwards?
So I'm pretty sure the first tournament we played was probably CGN. Unfortunately, we had a small roster at the time, and we were down a few players and had to 4v5. It was a really close game, and even with Kata dropping 17 kills in our S&D match that we ended up winning, we still ended up losing 2-1, and we were kind of upset. It was a learning experience for us, and since then we've made sure that it doesn't happen again, and we haven't 4v5'd any tournament ever since.
That's good then. You guys established a proper roster, I assume. So were there any challenges that you had to overcome?
Well, some challenges that we had to overcome was with me and myself, coming into Fierce Girls, or back then which was called AR Girls. After coming from my old team that's called Celeste, we disbanded, and I was planning on winning comp, but the biggest challenge here was making this my new family, my new team, and building chemistry with them and developing a new game style.
Yeah, so similar to Shorty, one challenging aspect that I had to personally overcome and still to this day attempt to overcome was my transition into this team. I had to start from scratch in ways where I had to build team chemistry and get to know everyone, learn new strats, and start adapting to a new schedule. And as our team does play scrims and tourneys a lot earlier compared to my previous team, I had to learn to manage my time in accordance to our schedule, as I do have school and family to consider. But overall, I really appreciate the patience and support from the team, as they ultimately understand where I'm coming from.
So coming to the English comp scene, since I have come from the Spanish comp scene, so I had to learn all the English callouts and also deal with the ping.
One of our biggest challenges was to prove that we can reach the top. Many teams and people didn't believe in us back then when we started to play with each other. I mean, haters became our motivators, and look at us now, and now we are one of the best girls team.
Yeah, so we've as a team we've had some rough times dealing with other with toxicity and other girl teams. We should be, as girls in general, we should be backing each other up and sticking with each other, rather than going up against each other, starting issues and conflicts. And yeah, we should be supporting one another, to be honest. And I realized that was one of the biggest issues and challenges we've had throughout our journey.
With that being said, obviously a lot of challenges. You guys are trying to overcome that very well, actually. So what would you say Fierce's greatest accomplishment is?
In my opinion, everyone getting along and playing as a team.
Also meeting each other, but not just that. It's also getting to know each other better and be in the team as a family. We can trust everyone in the team and can speak about our own problems. and we also stand with each other in every problem.
I think one of our accomplishments isn't like winning any tournaments because we've won quite a few, but it's just more so like the chemistry we built and how long we've come. You know.
Yeah. I mean, coming from the bottom, we becoming one of the becoming one of the best girls teams inside the girls community, and just the motivation that we get just to play and just win tournaments and back to back, and just swimming together like a family.
Yeah, honestly, we've had many accomplishments, not just one, and it's also these small things that matter, like, for example, coming up with a strat, implementing it in a scrim or a tourney, and actually succeeding in it. And that is a huge accomplishment for us. Just us improving, working together, seeing any small improvement. It could be small, it could be big, like winning a tourney. All of that honestly matters to us.
Considering that you guys also, as a tournament accomplishment, you guys won the season 6 of the Girls Cup. How did it feel to break the Angels record?
To be honest, it's not really about breaking Angel's record, as they are one of our strongest competitors, and we still go against them all the time in tourneys, and that was just one win against Angels, I guess. But they're still technically the number one team. We go up against each other every single tourney. We go into finals up against each other, and they've still managed to beat us all the freaking time. So it's really not about that. It's honestly just the fact that it was a season where we realized and saw how much we've improved, especially since we went up against really strong teams. And it was honestly just that, like, how we work together, how well we've performed, and that was a good time for us, to be honest, as a team. And that's how we got stronger.
I wanted to mention, like, one of our best highlights from that season from Girls Cup is in the semifinals we had like a major comeback, like, and especially in hardpoint. Like, we were down by a lot, and like we came back. Like, how many points did we come back from? Like 100 points. Like, we were down 100, and we came back, and it was like the game that determined if we won semifinals and went to finals. So yeah, that was pretty good. Proud of my team for that.
How did you guys start playing competitively? As in, did you guys play any games before you started moving to COD Mobile? If so, which games?
I honestly, Kadam was my first competitive scene. I used to play PUBG for fun with my friends, and I moved to Kadam after a while. I used to play for guy teams before I was recruited by a girl team. Um, um, and yeah, I basically just went from there.
I was a competitive female Rose player and I have won an European tournament. And when the game died, I moved to COD Mobile playing Ranked, and my boyfriend convinced me to start playing competitively. So I joined a couple of teams and played Spanish tourneys. And then NA girls teams recruit me entering into the girls competitive scene.
I came from COPS. I used to play the game competitively, but once the game died with all the hackers and all, basically almost everyone that left COPS transitioned to CODM. So I've been playing the game since beta. But I joined the team called the Cuties. It didn't work out. So that's when I created HB with Kata, Tokyo, Bianca, Lisa, Ali, Molly, and a few more members. And we had won the first ever girls tournament of, like, Cotton Sync, like, in general. So I guess that's when everything became like more serious to me, I guess.
I mean, I didn't really start nowhere. With any games, with anything. I only had one true game, and I was just to play Fortnite with my two brothers, my two younger brothers, and then they introduced me to Call of Duty Mobile, and my parents didn't really believe in me in playing games. They only believed in my brothers, so that was just like a huge step down for me. But like my brother secretly, my two brothers secretly bought me a phone, which is the phone I play on now. And later on, they told me their dreams about them wanting to become a pro player, competitive player, maybe in the future whenever they grow up. And when they passed away, I just decided to come over to comp. Asta, former comp mobile player, he took me under his wing, started coaching me, and now here I am with these girls. Just happy to be here. And one day I just hope to fulfill my brother's dreams.
I was a competitive Ross player for like 2 years, and when COD M came out, I played in season 0, but I didn't completely move to COD M. So I stayed in Ross and I continued playing competitively. But then, like, the game died and there was a lot of hackers and stuff, and like a lot of people switched to COD M. So I came back to COD M in like season 6 or 7, and that's when I started playing competitively.
So I started playing comp in PUBG Mobile back then. Then I switched to COD M after 1 year. When the game first came out, a few months after I joined the girls team named eCuties, where I met Jade, and that's how I got into the girls scene. The girls scene wasn't really big at that time. After we left eCuties, we opened Honeybees with a few members, and that's when the whole girls scene started, for sure. We played our first tournaments. The girls team started like coming out of nowhere, and then the community became big.
At least most of you had some kind of background with FPS at least. And the team actually used to be a part of Arsenal. How did you guys start merging with Fierce instead?
So when we were under AR or Arsenal, there were a few complications throughout, and basically Arsenal and our team decided it would be best if we parted ways. Our coaches at the time also had left AR and got picked up by Fierce, and they recommended for us to join them and become their girls team. Some of us already knew Ayak, Fierce's owner, as he was our manager, and mine and Tokyo's previous team that disbanded a while back. So we contacted each other and agreed to merge, and we left with the same exact roster and basically rebranded and became Fierce Girls. And yeah, Ayak has been great. He's more like a friend or a family member than a manager, to be honest. So it's been good.
Maya, how does it feel to be the captain of a team? Is it stressful or nerve-wracking? If so, how did you overcome this?
Honestly, when I first trialed and got into the team, I was given the captain role, and for the people who joined with me at the time, like Kat and Tokyo, they know how many times I basically declined and asked to not be captain. I was very scared in the beginning of doing it, but as it was like my first time, but basically as time went by, I started to learn more, and as our team grew, they've helped me just as much as I did, even more. They motivated me to keep going, even during tough times, and we've had many. But we basically overcame all the rough times, and we became stronger. It is stressful and nerve-wracking, especially in certain situations. When we have a stressful tourney or a scrim where the team is basically relying on my call out. And there are times where it could be a bad one. So it is a big responsibility, and a loss could sometimes make me feel like it's my fault. But my team has basically grown a lot from it, and we've learned together. And I'm really proud of what we've accomplished throughout this journey. And as I said before, we're all still learning and improving together.
Of course. And yeah, team chemistry is definitely a great factor for the success of a team. So going into this, do you have any advice to female teams or just teams in general who want to make it to the rankings and win tournaments?
Yeah, I would say you should believe in yourself. Don't listen to anyone if they try to bring you down. Don't doubt your gun skills, and be confident.
Also, learn to work together and build chemistry in the team.
I would say that stats don't matter. Play as a team. Like, don't bait each other. And also, like, don't be afraid to play OBJ if, like, your OBJ players aren't playing it, you know? Like, your stats really aren't going to get you nowhere and they won't get you the win. So I feel like that's the problem with most G teams, I guess. And also, like, don't demotivate each other, I guess. Like, even if you're losing, make a joke or something, like laugh, like, you know. It's really not that serious. I don't know. It's just if you demotivate your team, you're like just the VC's gonna be just like dry and nobody's gonna want to play anymore, you know. Basically common sense, I guess.
I would say don't get discouraged by a loss and always aim for the better. Losing doesn't really prove anything. All that matters is that you guys are a team and you work together.
As they said, stats don't really matter. It's honestly the win. And we weren't the team that we are now. We learned to work together, trust each other, and improve together. And that's the most important part. There are always going to be bad days or frustrating games. But the good basically outweighs the bad, and just take it as a learning experience. Work as a team to improve it. That's basically how we became the team we are today, especially when comparing other teams who have been here longer than we have and have formed and built their chemistry longer, and the knowledge of being and playing together as a team. We're still learning that today. We keep learning, we keep forming new strats, working together, improving. It's just a journey, basically.
I mean, the quote I go by is, or the quote that I made is, today is a good day, no matter what the consequences are. I made it for myself because it plays a big role into my life. You know, just after seeing everything I've been through and coming up to where I am today. I mean, the whole entire quote is just like, you know, you should just be happy that you're still alive, and you know, you might be going through hell, but just be happy. Like, just look into the positive side and just keep your head up and just stay determined. Find something that will benefit you and benefits everyone that's around you. Always have a positive energy. Like, whenever I see my team in a negative energy, I tend, or try to at least, make the VC or just my team more happier. Just look into the positive side of things and just find something that will determine you and just be yourself.
Unfortunately, it's time to end the interview. It was a pleasure having the team here today. Does anyone have anything else to add before we close?
No, thank you for having us, and thank you for taking the time to interview us. We really appreciate it.
Yes. We appreciate for your time and energy. I'm tired. I know y'all are too. So
Today will always be a good day, and no matter what the consequences are, you'll always have a good day.